Welcome to iRise Conversations with Joan. Welcome to iRise Conversations with Joan, where we bring you inspiring stories and insightful conversations to help you reach new heights in your personal and professional life. Today, we have a super amazing guest, Joanne Savoie-Malone. She is a bilingual career transition coach and the founder of Power Play Career. With over 15 years of experience in brand optimization, job search strategies, communication, and networking, she empowers midlife professionals to pursue their dream jobs or switch careers. Her expertise lies in career leadership and life coaching skills. She is passionate about helping individuals in midlife thrive and offers valuable insights on how to achieve that. She is also the author of the book, Power You Ahead to Your New Job, 13 Steps from Resume to Your First 90 Days. Welcome, Joanne, to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Joan. It's so great to be here.
Yes, our names are similar. I feel like we're twins. I just
Yes. I feel exactly like that too. Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about all things career transition. Tell us a little bit about your own personal journey and some of the different careers you've had and how you became a career transition coach.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier to you, I think we have similar paths where, as soon as I got out of school, I started, different jobs, and it seems it was so easy. It was so easy to go from one job to another. I would go in a job and learn all I can. I love meeting new people. I think I was like addicted to the new. So I was, always moving in different. I lost count of how many jobs I got and how many career changes I made. But I was always the joke of the family, right? They would say, "Oh, you have a thick resume. Your resume is a book." But I was enjoying it, and I said, "Well," but people were saying that as, "Oh, maybe I should get a job," but I was having so much fun. But never really finding fulfillment in work. So when I was in my 40s, I decided to go on my own as a consultant. I was in IT recruiting, and at that point, and I decided to pursue that, which was interesting. But I became a consultant. Then I started my business as a recruiting firm. But then I really enjoyed the part about helping people with their resume, getting ready for interviews, which I thought was great. So then I started, I got a part-time job actually with an outplacement company to do career transition coaching. And I loved it. So I started doing my own. So while working with them, I was working, doing about 20 hours a week of career coaching. So I think I really built up my muscle and confidence in helping people with their career change. But then I realized I had a sweet spot for the woman in midlife, that men also, but particularly women that wanted more out of life, but they felt depleted. They felt like, oh, I'm too old. Nobody's going to hire me. Oh, I'm not up on technology and things like that. So this is now my new career aspirations, is to help those women.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, I'm a client already, but like you have also had numerous careers, and again, like to what you said, finding the one that really fulfills you. I think that's the goal of many people, especially people in their midlife when they're looking for a change. So in your opinion, would you say there's a difference in terms of deciding on a career path to follow when you're in your 20s, your early career, versus people in their midlife?
So I think you shouldn't put yourself in a pigeonhole. And a question that I started asking is not what do you want to be, is who do you want to be? And, with respect to, if you want to be a doctor, but why? So I have my daughter is 20 years old. She's just still trying to figure out what she wants to do. And I said, well, try to figure out what is it that you enjoy. What is it, like, who do you want to be? She likes to advocate for the people that are less fortunate and things like that. And so we'll start looking at careers in that field. And so I think it's your career path is serendipitous, because maybe what you did in the past, your first career, you have to explore, you have to know, you have to, right? So I don't think it needs to be, oh, I'm going to be an accountant for the rest of my life, right? So yes, maybe accounting is something that interests you and you'll do it for a few years, maybe 5 years, but then that will then maybe be something, some of the skills there will be something that will help you in your next career change. And I like to help the people when they're thinking about career change. Yes, you can do it. It's doable. Because a lot of time people say, oh, it's not doable. I've been to school.
Can't learn. Too old to learn. Too old to learn.
Yes, yes.
I hear that a lot. So like, I love what you said about, you can do something for 5 years and then switch. There's no hard and fast rule that says you have to do one career and die with it. Those days are long gone. Like, people should feel comfortable to explore who do I want to be right now? Who I wanted to be 20 years ago definitely is not who I want to be today. So as you evolve as a human being, your desires or your needs or your career should be evolving as well and changing. And I love what you said about maybe some of those skills that you learned in previous careers might actually help you when you're transitioning to a new career. But I think the key message here is, when you're in your midlife and you're trying to make those changes, it's not about, oh, because my neighbor is an accountant, I want to be an accountant, I think I'll be good at this. No, maybe now it's time for you to go a little bit deeper to find out who do you want to be. And maybe Joanne, give us a bit of an exercise, because people might say, well, I really don't know who I want to be. A job is just a job is just a job. So what is a quick tip or an exercise that people can do to really figure out who they want to be?
Yeah, and there's a lot of tools out there that can help you sometimes, but sometimes I don't always like to use a tool. I think people just need to find the time with themselves. And, because I tell the story about the shoemaker that wears the worst shoes, right? So we are all shoemakers, because we don't take care of ourselves the way that we tell other people to take care of themselves. And with respect to careers, or people always say, oh, I don't know how to sell myself, I don't like talking about myself, right? I'm sure you get that.
Especially women.
But how can you tell the value you're going to give an employer if you don't like to talk about yourself? You need to communicate this. And the best way to do that is to sit down. And I started this little experiment, and it works fabulously, because people say, oh, they don't know how to start. It's to sit down, put the timer for 1 minute, and write as many skills as you can. It's amazing the result. The people say, oh, they are surprised by what they were able to write down for a minute. And then I said, okay, now let's keep on going. What is it? What are your accomplishments? Well, I did my job, right? I do, this is what I was hired for. Yes, but what are you proud of? So I said, okay, go and write 10 accomplishments. And that's all you need to do. They go and write start their 10 accomplishments, and there is resistance at first. Oh, I don't know how to do this. And so I just put a sheet with three column. What's the situation? What's the action? What's the result? Okay, come back next week. And they're amazed. They say, oh my God, so much. Look at this. I can't believe I did all this. And it's amazing when they take the time. So the bottom line is, just take the time to know yourself. Who are you? Who do you want to be? And that is the key, because, we don't take that time. So I say, don't be like the shoemaker. Wear the best damn shoes in the room.
Yes, but if you're in your midlife, you may not be able to wear 6-inch heels, but that's okay too.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Wear comfy shoes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've sat down with myself. I've come up with a list of who I want to be. I've come up with a list of my skills.
Yeah.
What happens next? How do I determine what career path I truly want to follow?
Well, then, there's a simple process with that as well, where you try to figure out your career values. And the career values are with respect to, do you want a full-time job? Do you want to work part-time? Do you want to work with a team? Do you want to work with, so that is also important to figure out, because that will indicate, eventually come up with the type of job, or where, even the industry sometimes, right? So it's really, again, knowing about your preferences. And do you want to travel? Do you want, like, there's so many questions with respect to, career values. Do you want to start a business? Do you want, and so going from that, and those are the question. Actually, I created a one-pager that documents all this, because people, I said, this is your inventories. You have to start inventories, because in 2023 and going forward, the world of work is changing so rapidly. And so we need to stay on top of it. And the best way, it's not to try to figure out the type of job we want to be. What are the skills I have? And more companies are going after, the soft skills.
The soft skills, yeah.
Right. So it's to document those, what are my values? What are my skills? What are my accomplishments? And having those inventories will equip you with being able to then go to interviews, update your resume. So I say to them, right, don't take your resume and update it. Have a shell of a resume and have your inventories, because in today's world, right, you have to really tailor the resume because of the ATS. And I say, your target market is the ATS. So,
yeah,
right.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is
so
true.
So it's it's really getting to know who you are, who you want to be, and the values you have, and all this. I think it's so important. And people saying, oh, I'll wing it. It's like, yeah, but what if you spend just an hour with yourself? Imagine that.
Imagine that. And you're right. A lot of people don't know. Like, if you said to them, tell me what your skills are, people so take
Yes.
the time to actually document these things, so that when you're actually asked,
Yeah.
so what do you want to do, you actually can reel out a list of, oh, well, I've done this, and I can do this, I can do this, I can do that, as opposed to, let me think, I haven't really done much. Yeah, I had a job, but it wasn't that great. No.
Yeah.
We need to, as women, especially women, we need
Especially
to
women.
start documenting our skill sets, our achievements, accomplishments. We need to know that, and we need to own it. We need to be able to speak up and not shy of me. Like, no, I wasn't that great. I just, that's how we do. Okay, so we've talked about, knowing who you are, knowing where you want to be, documenting your skill sets, and then using that to tailor your resumes to apply for jobs. There's I don't know if there's any truth to it, but in the industry today, especially within the tech space, for a lot of people who might want to go into tech space, because now AI is hot and cybersecurity is hot, there's just a lot of things going on within the tech space. There's some misconception around, oh, there's an age and an unspoken bias. That's kind of an unconscious bias, where employers, hiring managers, would hire younger people than people in their midlife. So is that something for people within the midlife who are looking for career transition? Is that something they need to be worried about?
I believe no, because, and I actually just wrote a blog post on that, because I really feel that the future of work includes all the generations. And in my mind, I guess that's would be that would be the ideal. Yes, the younger companies, the startups will hire younger people, but I think they're going to soon realize that they need the midlifers to help with not just the technology, but work ethics and wisdom and things like that. And I think for a while the generations are siloed, and especially with AI, a lot of midlifers are afraid of the new technology, but they need to embrace it. And I think it's easier said than done. But I did write a post on the jobs of the future with AI, and we were discussing this actually with my daughter, because there were different jobs, yes, of course, in the program development and all this, but there was one job was on ethics and ethics with respect to AI. And it's like, you don't need a young kid to do that. Anybody can do that. But she was like, oh, that sounds interesting. There was also writers. We still need, writers to write the basic content of AI, right? Yes, they can, but we still need to feed the data. We still need researchers. We still need we still need a lot of there's new careers that are developing, but we can't look at it saying, oh, we're gonna lose a lot of jobs and things like that. But no, it's gonna create other jobs. So my daughter was saying to that, well, I don't want to be a programmer. I said, you don't have to be a programmer. There's different jobs. And that's when I got to write the blog on that, because I said, okay, I got to find some proof to what I'm telling her, right? So I believe, and more, I feel that we need to bring those generations together.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that is something that holds a lot of midlifers back, because they hear technology and all they think is programming.
Yes.
It's way beyond programming. So I was telling you earlier, so I still do consulting on the side, and I recently got into cybersecurity, and people are like, oh, cyber is technical. I'm like, I'm not technical. Like, I'm doing strategy. Strategy for me is the same. Doesn't matter the domain, the organization. It doesn't matter. Strategy is strategy is strategy. They need someone who can think big picture. Hello, big picture thinking. So a lot of people get stuck in that, oh no, technology, programming, I have to be a developer, I have to be a tester, I have to be an automation engineer, I need to be, blah, blah. No, you don't have to. As technology is coming, there are other roles around it. So I think that's where going through some of the exercises that you just talked about will help people maybe open their eyes a little bit more to see there's way more out there that you well suited for.
Exactly.
Like the younger generation, they don't want to write anything. They don't want to research. They're in a hurry. Like,
I know.
Exactly. I want to research.
Yes.
So there will always be jobs for every single generation. I think the key thing is identify who you want to be, what you need to get where you are, what are your skills. If there's a gap, then maybe figure out how you're going to bridge that gap, and then put yourself together in your resume and start applying for jobs.
Exactly. And recently I just I just got certified in the DISC, the behavioral. So I find that is also helping with the question of the values, the career values, and really identifying, right? Are you introvert, extrovert? And because there is room for every of these people. Are you people oriented? Are you task oriented? And so I'm really enjoying learning about human behavior, like, and again, trying to, look at it with all the generation as well.
Yeah. And I think I want to really call out that human behavior. We all have a default way that we are, and sometimes we're not even aware. And that's why I love tools like, Myers-Briggs. There's so many out there that you can use to tell you. It's like a mirror. Like, it shows you this is who you are. And the moment you say it, you're like, actually, that's me. Then you can use that to determine, okay, these are the kind of jobs I should go for. But when you just guess it, because the truth is we make a lot of decisions based on people around us. Oh, I think you look like a high school teacher. I think you should go teach. Oh, maybe I'll go teach. No. Like, can we stop? Oh, my mother was a teacher. My grandmother was a teacher.
I know.
No.
Yes, exactly.
What's that got to do with me? So these assessments are really key. And that's why working with a coach like Joanne, I think that is is really priceless, because you can sit down and think that you know everything about yourself, you know where you want to go, but most times you just end up in another career, another soul-sucking career.
So
Just, I
sucking.
know, seven
Yeah.
careers later, a soul-sucking career that brings you no joy, and you keep wondering, is this it? Is this why I'm
Yeah,
here? This can't
exactly.
be it. Come on.
This can be, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
This cannot be it.
yeah. And
Okay, so tell us about your book. How are you ahead to your new job? Just give us a brief summary of why you wrote the book, who it's for, and what our listeners can get out of it.
so the book was an experiment in some ways, to be able to write a book. So I wanted to know how to do it. And so I sort of self-published through Amazon, and the book is basically the steps that you would do to find a job. So chapter one, so it goes through the steps. So it's knowing who you are, and then it's about identifying your skills, your accomplishments. So each chapter is a step in your job search and going to interviews, networking, informational interviewing, which I think is better than applying online, and all those steps, and all the way to your first 90 days. So it's a very basic ebook. It's not in print. It's an ebook that I've put out there because I wanted to do it, and being somebody that likes to try different jobs, I wanted to try writing a book. So now I have other ideas now to maybe write future books, right? And it's like it was a great experience, and to write future book, and next time to have a hard copy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's amazing. Well, congrats. It's never easy to write a book, even if it's an ebook. Trust me.
Yes.
So it sounds like for anyone who's looking to make a career switch, they can buy that book and go through the steps. Each chapter is an exercise to help you along that path. And at the end of it, hopefully you should have a clear path on how you can go from switching careers to your first 90 days on the job.
And right now I put it as a promotion because I was at an event last week so I decided to have a promotion on Amazon. You can promote the book for I think for 90 days. So
Okay.
it's free right now. So
Oh,
anybody that
amazing.
yeah.
I will be sure to include it in the show notes, and everyone, all my listeners, you can go ahead and order the book for free and make that career switch. Okay, so when you were speaking, you talked about networking. So networking is something that scares a lot of people. I know it still scares me till tomorrow. What are some tips around networking, especially for people who say they're introverts? Oh, I don't want to bother anybody. I feel icky talking to a stranger. What are some quick tips that you can recommend to help people kind of use networking? And how important is networking? Is it really important at all?
I think so. But there is two networking situation. There's the networking where you go to an event, and there's a networking where you network one-on-one with respect to job search and things like that. So when you go to an event, definitely a lot of people, the introvert will say, oh, I don't like to talk about myself. I don't want to introduce myself. I can't. So what I say to them is make it about the other person. Instead of going, say, hey, hi, hi, I'm Joanne. What do you do? So you don't say anything about yourself first, because then you have time to calm your nerves. You have time to listen to the other person. And then they would say, oh, how about you? So then you're in a better situation than, because sometimes they say networking, go and introduce yourself.
Sell yourself, yeah.
And people are scared of that. So just say, hey, hi, I'm Joanne. What do you do? So that, then you can, it sort of eases you into the conversation.
Yeah. Okay. That's awesome. And then the other type of networking, if you're looking for a job, reaching out one-on-one.
Yeah. So that's how I found a lot of my work, my jobs in the past. And I think I really encourage my clients to do that. And I say to spend less time on online applying, because more and more it's very hard. The competition is fierce out there. And, and they say, oh, I've made 40 application and no response. I said, okay, first of all, that's too many. And I say you need to be strategic. And then I tell them the concept of networking, going to, talking to the people And again, it's making it about them. What do you do? How do you get there? It's informational networking. And then when they learn, then it's going to switch to you. When you learn more, when they learn more about you, they might say, oh, I know a friend, I know this, or you should talk to this person. When you network with people you don't know, one of the strategies I tell them to do is to go on, identify companies that they'd like to work with, and to go and look at maybe the hiring manager or a colleague or somebody in that company. And then I tell them just to connect. And as well, first, make sure your LinkedIn profile is up to date, it's engaging, they know who you are. And I said, just connect. And this is giving them permission to look at your your profile.
Yeah.
Because we're bombarded, even in LinkedIn, we're bombarded by ads, by people, and comments. So this way, it's just a very tap on the shoulder. Hey, connect, and then giving them permission to say yes or no, or just to ignore us. But so some of them will say yes, so sure, connect. They will have gone and looked at your profile and say, oh, this person doesn't look too bad. Oh, great background. They say yes, then you say, hey, thank you for connecting with me. Would love to engage in a conversation, and really interested about your background, or I'm interested about your company, or I'm interested about how you got there, or making it again about them. And never do you talk about that you're looking for a job. You're doing research. You're doing research, right? And it's true. And I've used this tactic many times, and it's and then and not to make it more than 10-15 minutes, and then they would come back, and some of them would say, yeah, sure, let's hop on a call, right? And make it very informal. And that could lead to different things. Maybe it could lead to nothing, could lead to a new relationship. It could lead to maybe, hey, I know somebody that needs somebody like you. Could lead to maybe, hey, we have a job, we have maybe something here for you. Send me your resume, I'll give it to somebody. Yeah. So this is and then they say, oh, that's not bad. And most of them like that. And a lot of them got their jobs doing that tactic, because it's less invasive. It's less,
and aggressive.
It's less aggressive. Yeah, exactly.
Hi, thanks for connecting. By the way, I'm looking for a job. I'm just wondering if there are any open opportunities in your company. And if you like, no, go away. I don't know you. Yeah,
exactly. Exactly. So I encourage them to, some of them will say, oh, I can do that. Or some will say, oh my God, I don't know if I can. I said, just start with 3. And so, and they see results. And, because it is like in LinkedIn, it can be very scary to be in that world. But I encourage them to go talk, even depending on the job. Even sometimes we need the human touch, especially after COVID. If you feel like you go in our organization, go talk to people, go in, and they'll be surprised that people are actually going into looking for a job, right? Like, it's not done anymore. So be the difference, and go and talk to people.
Yeah, I think you're right. People underestimate that physical, touch, especially after COVID. Like, humans are craving that right now. So if you can do something differently from everybody else who's just sending emails, and just going back to what you said, you see some jobs on LinkedIn. The job was posted 3 hours ago. 50,000 applications. I'm like, how? Like, what? No, what? Why?
I know. Yeah. That's crazy.
It's crazy out there. So be different, be different. And I also want to touch on something you said. Make sure your LinkedIn profile is nicely updated. Like,
yes.
I looked at some people's profiles and I'm like,
yes.
There's nothing to know. I don't want to know you because there's nothing.
Yes. Exactly.
So I think
the LinkedIn profile is, people are intimidated by it. They said, oh, I haven't looked at it. I don't know how. So let's jump on a call. We go through it. And I actually have a free workshop I'm doing next week on the 28th on branding. And one of the section is about your LinkedIn profile and your brand statement when you're looking for a job. So
That's something that people don't think about a lot, your personal brand. People are like, oh, brand is for big companies. No, it's everyone. You have a brand and you need to know what that brand represents so you can show up as that. So that's really beautiful. Well, I hope my listeners will jump on that as well and get as much as they can, because really we want people changing careers this year and getting the jobs of their dreams. We need to thrive in midlife. We don't need to suffer anymore.
yeah.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about your coaching. I know you work with women in their midlife and some men too. How does your coaching work? Is it one-on-one group coaching, and who can join?
So I partner with an outplacement company here in Ottawa, in Ottawa, Ontario. Mm-hmm. And they send me clients that have lost their jobs. So I do coach about like maybe 15 or 20 months with that. But I also have my practice that I also do one-on-one coaching with respect to people that come to me for, I need to update my brand. I need to help with my interview. I need help. So we do it. So I do little packages like that. And I also do group coaching with respect to, I work with an organization once a month. I go in and I do a workshop on branding. Which more and more, I think it's so important, and people, again, they're like the shoemaker.
Horrible shoes.
So I go through a simple process to come up with a nice brand statement for the LinkedIn. And now I also have, I'm also doing a group coaching, like half a day in July with respect to with the disc. So it's to help people that have, gone to how to change career, knowing your disc behavior style. So this is a workshop I'll be giving in July, and to help them with that, which includes the branding as well and everything, and to really focus in the job search. So we find first what is your style temperament, and then to figure out what type of career is good for you, and then we go into the different styles, and then the potential job and how to look for that job, how to apply, and all that. So this is a workshop in July that I'll be doing.
Wow, amazing. A lot of stuff going on. So I'll be sure to include all your details in the show notes so that people can reach out, connect, and hopefully sign up for your coaching, because I feel everybody needs a coach.
Yes.
To help you, just to shorten the distance so that you don't have to grind and suffer and tell yourself, oh, it's not possible, I'm too old, I can't learn, there's nothing for me out there. You can work with a coach, the mindset. You can work with a coach that can help you identify who you are, what you want to be, and help you get there too. Mm-hmm. On an unrelated topic, you do love pets and you do have a lot of pets. Tell us a little bit about your pets and what you learned from your pets.
Oh, I have 3 pets. Yes, okay. I have Jackie. She's she's going to be 6 years old in August, and she's just beautiful, wonderful. She's sort of part husky and part Shiba Inu. She's just adorable. And then we have this cat, Phoebe. She's also about 5 years old, and she's a tortoise cat.
Oh.
She has the cutest personality. She makes us laugh, when she does the funniest things. And then we have a gecko. The gecko I had now for 20 years. And it used to eat crickets, but now because she's so old, like we have to feed her like these ugly looking worms, but so I have to, but she's doing great. She's so cute and everything. And Jackie, my dog, like I got her 5 years ago. She was 3 months, and this was the first time having a dog. And I'm telling you, I was so grateful to have her during the pandemic, because she got me out. She I don't know, she did something, but she was my friend. She was my
Oh,
best friend. She still is. And even today, like every morning we're out at 7:30 because, like I work at home, and sometimes you don't even see the time go by. But at 4 o'clock, she's in here saying, "Hey, it's time for my walk."
gotta go. Yeah, it's my
I
time
think
now.
yeah, I think she has a watch, or she has, like, she knows the time. But I truly treasure my pets. Like, they're just amazing. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I don't have pets personally, but I've had in the past, and really they can change your life.
Yes.
They really can. That's awesome. Okay, so final tips for people who their midlife crisis. I want to change careers, but again, the negative thoughts, oh, it's not possible, it's not going to work for me, yada, yada, yada. What quick advice do you have for people who are feeling very stuck and think that there's no hope for me?
It's a myth. It's a myth that you're too old. And just take inventories of what you have, and that's going to give you a boost. One lady last week told me, "Joanne, you gave me wings," because and I said, "Oh, I love that. I love giving people wings." But believe in yourself, and you have something to offer. I truly believe baby boomers and X are going to help the younger generation, and we need to have that mindset. And you have value to bring, and I've coached so many people that to change careers in midlife, in their 50s, or even this 60-year-old woman.
Wow.
She wanted to change careers, and she was so depressed because all her friends and families were telling her, "You don't need to work, you have good money. Why do you want to work?" And she was depressed. And I said to her, I said, "Listen, stop listening to your friends and family." And that sort of was the, oh my God, Joanne gave me permission not to listen to my family. And she switched it around, and she became a consultant for startups, which was her dream job. And she got it.
Wow.
And so don't limit yourself. It's a myth. Ageism is a myth. You can do anything you want. And there's proof out there. So there's like Colonel Sanders. He had a job. He started a job at 75. Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln, the president. He got to be president in his 70s or whatever. And so those are some examples. There's many more, but a lot of people found fulfillment and purpose in careers later in life, if that's what you want. Because there's some people just want to retire, and that's fine too.
Nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Thank you so much, Joanne, for being here with us today. And thank you for all those tips, invaluable insights. I'm sure that a lot of the listeners today have benefited from some of the exercises that you've shared. And I really want to encourage everyone who, if you're feeling stuck, start with inventory. Just take an inventory of all the things that you've done, who you are, where you want to be, who you want to be, and some of those accomplishments. And that will give you the boost that you need. And if you need to stop talking to family and friends,
yes,
you've got permission today. So go ahead and do that too. Thank you so much for being here with us, Joanne. Thank you to all my listeners. I hope you got a lot of insights from today's conversation. I will see you same time next week on iRise Conversations with Joan. Thanks for listening.